always has like a timer on, like how long he wants to be at a party, right? See, my introverts laugh. They understand. We'll be getting in there. We'll go separate ways because we have different friends. And he's like, hey, food's on the second level. Check it out, you know. And then like 30 minutes later, he's like, well, I'm home. I hope you get a ride. He's like, find an Uber. Seriously? If you put me in a car with a female Uber, we are going to New York. We're going to watch the ball drop. Yeah, so some people are like, so, you know, being married 30 years, like, do you have a success story of how well you get? I'm like, we literally argue like wonderful Christian people. We argue like two Italian thugs. I'm not kidding. He's like, are you looking at me? I said, look at me. No, I said, no, you look at me. Are you looking at me? No, you look at me. And we literally we'll go back and forth doing this for I don't know how long. We're so silly we are. One of the cool things, this part isn't cool, but 2 years ago I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And one of the great things my husband did is he bought me a Pacifica. So I was very excited because that way we can go around and see relatives, and I was very happy to do that. Now the Pacifica has Uconnect, so your phone can talk through the car. You guys have that in your cars at all? So it was great because the first time the Google Maps woman spoke, she's like, hello. Yes, just head down Highway 75 South. You're just great. Because my husband, he looks at me, he goes, can you talk like her? She's like, happy birthday to you. Thank you for the older crowd who got that. I'll never forget the first time my husband's text messages came through the car, but it was in her voice, right? And this is what he texts me. A possum has died on the front porch. Be sure to bag it. It's garbage day. Oh, make sure it's dead first. So when my husband took the van, I changed the Google voice on him into my mother's voice. You are doing very good. When you find the McDonald's, take a right. No, not that McDonald's, the next McDonald's. Now, I do love engineers. How many of you are married to engineers or work with engineers? I want a round of applause. Y'all are about to enter therapy. I do love engineers. I mean, we need our cars, our trains, our planes. We like our cell phones and our laptops, right? But I find that they're interesting because they're the most like chronological, functional, structural, organizational, cheap people I've ever met. Did you know that there is a right way and a wrong way to do just about everything? Did you know that? There's a right way to pull into your garage. How many of you have a string and a ball hanging? Yeah, right? I wish I could give you a microphone. You're back there, yeah. She's like, I got that ball in my garage. Because it tells you just how far to pull in, right? Because they didn't cover that in driver's ed. My husband decided, like he loves food, right? He's a foodie. He decided that he's going to create an ABC food chart for me. Yeah. A are all the foods that he loves. So make sure you put that on the recipe card. And B are the foods he'll tolerate so he doesn't have to die. And C are the foods he never wants to see again. I said, I have my own ABC chart. A, set the table. B, say thank you. And C, do the dishes. Right, ladies? But he is definitely romantic, my husband. He brought me flowers. Well, they were seeds. We'll plant them in the spring. They're lilies. I'm highly allergic. I'll put them right outside the kitchen window so I can be on Allegra for the rest of my life. You know, it's funny because when my husband's like a research engineer. He's always thinking and calculation of his brain. And it's wonderful. We need his brain. And it just cracks me up, though. When COVID first came out, he researched everything. everything from every state. Do you know how many people died in this county? And do you know how many people died in this county? And do you know how many people died? I was like, after 3 days, I'm like, do you know how many people are going to die in our house? Oh, my goodness. Oh, I was going to ask you if you could show the slideshow real quick. So this is actually Brian's birthday, so there's my 4 kids, but we'll go to the next slide real quick. All right, so that's my son, Matthew. Now, when he was born, he should have come with a warning label. He's the highest level of testosterone. He should. I mean, the warning label would say, may cause headaches, sleepless nights, and heart palpitations. When he was 9 months, he was running. At 11 months, he climbed out of the crib, right? He'd be like, boom, pitter, patter, pitter, patter, pitter, patter. My husband's like, did you get him out of the crib? Why would I get him out of the crib? Did you get him out of the crib? No, how did he get out of the crib? We didn't even know. It was crazy. And then when he was 2 years old, I'm not kidding, he took an electric screwdriver, and I thought Brian was working on something because I hear zzz, 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 zzz. 2 years old. I walk around the corner and went, oh, and I was like, oh my goodness, I think I birthed Tim Allen's son. Home improvement was very popular at the time. I was like, I was going to call him up. Tim, yeah, I birthed your son. You want to come get him? And then later on in high school, he decided he wanted to wrestle, be on the wrestling team. I had never gone to the wrestling team. Like, I only went one time his senior year because I had too many kids and too busy at home. But I finally get to the first wrestling meet, and I'm sitting down, and this guy, like several people over, he's like, that's right, you take him, and you just put him in a headlock, and you shove him up like this. And I'm like, oh, I just want to take my shoe off and go, what are you saying? They almost kicked me out, right? Homeschool mom attacks dad. Then my daughter, it's number 2, my daughter got married, yay. So cool. She got married in a barn, so the west side of Michigan, which is kind of cool. And they did the reveal before the ceremony. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The bride and groom are allowed to see each other before they actually get married. So they wanted them to do their vows outside. Well, you're at a barn. So what could possibly be at a barn? Oh, you're outside trying to do your vows? There's a chicken